All right, so let's look at the revenue generation through social initiatives. A social enterprise, for a nonprofit, it's just a tax status. It's not a business model. And I say that because I don't know if you guys know this, the NFL was a nonprofit for 35 years. And I think they just revoked their status like in 2016, but they were a nonprofit for decades. And they are a billion-dollar corporation. And when I first read about it, I was like, that's crazy. How is the NFL a nonprofit? When they founded this organization, they figured out a way and a model, and they set it up to be a nonprofit, and they're making billions of dollars. Now, granted, they have the NFL Foundation, they have the NFL Community Impact. They do really good things, but they created a strategy, which is, players and systems, and they have a social generating model that produces income for them. So if you look at the NFL business model, you can mimic that for you and your business. Another one that we should always look at is, how do we allocate our services back to the community? If we don't have the funds, like you said, you do consulting, you can give your services back to the community. Figure out a way to create some type of social impact, and that's going to lead to revenue generating. Another thing that you look at is revenue generating programs. Businesses can develop profitable social initiatives that create a positive impact. So for our organization, we're a nonprofit. A lot of people say, oh, we rely on grants. I built this organization to have 8 streams of income because the average millionaire has 8 streams of income. If I'm trying to build a business and I'm heavily relying on one source of income, when that income is pulled away, we're back to being broke. And I realized that my first year in business, or actually my second year, we didn't have no models. We didn't have a program. We were just freestyling everything. We were getting a little check from HEB every year. They've been blessing us ever since we started our organization. But I moved to Oklahoma. So moving to Oklahoma kind of slowed the operations of the business down. I don't have that HEB support anymore. Now I don't have no money for the organization. So I had to go back to the drawing board and said, we have to create a social impact that's going to create revenue. And that's literally how, the Young Billionaires Club program was started, in addition to everything that was already going on in our society. But that was the driving force to that. I didn't want to build something that was heavily relying on one thing. So we built it to have 8 streams of income. When you build your system to have 8 streams of income, figure out the social impact that comes with it. So for our Young Billionaires Club program, yes, the students come in for free, but when we work with our school partners and the counties and the organization and the corporations, they're the ones that's sponsoring it. They're the ones that's paying for those kids to be in the program. So the program is creating money, we're changing lives, and now we have built a relationship. Now it's all throughout social impact. What can you do for your business to drive social impact? Because social impact drives the dollars. All right, so now I want to talk about steps to align your business with social impact. The first step is identify an issue. You can't go into a community if you don't know what's going on in that community. A lot of times you see a lot of businesses, you'll go somewhere and you will see I seen a strange business. Well, we grew up, Caleb. We grew up in the southwest part of Houston, Texas, Dairy, Ashford, A-Leaf area. I seen like a smoothie shop over there, and that's great. That's great. We definitely need healthy options, but that's the wrong place to put that at in this current time, because that community needs more than a smoothie shop. And so a lot of times investors go into these areas and they think, oh, we got the budget, we got the funding for it, we got the name, it's going to do really good. And that smoothie shop has a 2-year run and you don't see them there anymore. When you're building a business and you're trying to do something, identify the issue in the community. Spend time on the front line, figuring out what's wrong with the people. That way you can build a really good social impact. My first year in business as a nonprofit organization, we didn't do anything. I didn't do any events. All I did was volunteer for almost 1.5 years. And a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy when I say that. When I volunteered, I was able to go into the communities. I saw what the kids needed. I saw what the parents needed. I saw what the teachers needed. Now I can create a program that's going to be well-rounded because it's a program for the people, by the people. If I go and create this program thinking Sebastian knows it all and I go take it to the community and the kids looking at me like I'm crazy, they're like, I don't want to learn that. Then we have a problem. But you have a lot of us as business owners, we become very arrogant. We think we're the best at what we do. And we go into a place and we think we're about to dominate this market. And then we go in there and the community shows us it's not your time, or we don't want what you have. Identify the issue. The second one is develop initiatives. I always say in the beginning, it takes money to spend money. So when you develop your initiatives, figure out testers that you can give out to the community. If you're selling cookies, figure out, maybe you go to these vendor pop-ups and you give out some small cookies or something like that. Get a feel for the community. You want to figure out how can these initiatives grow, but you want to get the feedback and the honest feedback from your community. And then my third step is you have to engage the stakeholders. What we do as an organization is we're very open and honest with everything that we do, and we're very transparent. We have a lot of surveys. We have a lot of community forums. We have newsletters. I'm always wanting to hear from my students and my parents, because if I don't listen to you, my business is not going to grow. Yeah, I'm the CEO and my name is on all the paperwork. Yeah, that's cool and all. But at the end of the day, my stakeholders are pretty much determine how we even generate revenue as a company. If I don't listen to you all, we're going to phase. And it's like a for-profit company. You have investors that sit on the board. They have these big meetings for these major companies, and they listen and they hear about what's going on. They're engaging their stakeholders. As a business owner, and I like to talk to my African Americans about this, we think we don't have to listen to nobody. Oh, this is my business. I started this, I'm the first person to do this in my family. That's cool. But who are you listening to? How are you growing a business? Engage your stakeholders. Your stakeholder can be 3, 4 people. I don't care who it is. Listen to the people, because the people are going to determine the future trajectory of your business. So those are the steps to align your business with social impact. And then my last thing that I want to talk about, and then we get into open discussion, is the benefits of it. And we can go on and on about this, but these are 3 ways. Brand reputation. Your brand reputation grows a long way. You increase your employee engagement and retention. When you do something really good and you have a really good event, people look forward to it. The people that work for you are going to start to look forward to it. So now you have people coming back to you for that thing that they like. For example, let's put it into a perspective. Every year you have nonprofits that do these major galas, they do these major events. If that event is really good, everybody likes it, they're going to come back next year, they're going to bring a friend. Your employees that work for you, they're going to be engaged, they're going to be excited, they're going to bring a friend. Now you went from 100 people in this room, now you got 200, and you continuously to double your impact. So you increase the brand reputation and employee engagement. And the last one is long-term, it's sustainable, and it's community development. The average small business has like a 3-year run because they're not sustainable. We create businesses for the now. We don't create businesses for the future, and that's backwards. When I started my organization, I was doing it for the now because I didn't understand the trajectory. I didn't understand where God was taking me. But now, as an executive and as a CEO that's been in business for a few years and worked for a major corporation, I'm starting to realize this is about sustainable growth. We're in 2024, but I'm talking to my team and the board, hey, what are we going to be doing in 2030? Because if I'm not planning for that, then I'm going to phase out. Look at a lot of those companies that Amazon has put to bed. Amazon has killed a lot of companies, and that's because, and it could be a number of reasons, but a lot of times as a company, as an organization, we're not looking towards the future. Amazon started off as a book company. They were doing books, and I guess they started to change their business strategy. Now they're a global phenomenon, and they sell any and everything, and they got groceries now. And so you start to compete with that, and you start to look at like, wow, like how can I build my business for the future? How can I start to look at 2030 and 2040 and 2050? Put together a plan in action, because you're not just doing business for the now, you're working on the future. And the last thing that I like to see from us is we graduate from high school, graduate from college, and we haven't done anything to prepare ourselves for life after high school and life after college. And I say that because I was talking to some kids last year, and they said, I'm scared to graduate from high school. And I'm looking at them like, I was happy to get out of high school. I couldn't wait till the last day. And they were scared because they don't know what they were going to do after high school. And I don't like seeing that from us, because that's how we get into trouble. That's how we get into the streets and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's the trajectory you're on, but I'm painting that picture for you to understand that if you don't get a hold of it now, life is going to hit you. And mom and daddy's not always going to be there. And you're going to have to figure it out on your own, because you're a young man and you're on your way to, bigger and better things. And so whatever that makes you excited, if it's gaming, it's photography, clothing, man, go at it 100%, because you never know what's going to happen on the other side.